Dear students, now in this video lecture, we'll talk about the approach for the smart grid application. Let us study what to mean by advanced metering infrastructure, AMI. AMI is one of the term which is used for smart meters. Already we studied more about the AMI infrastructure, how it is functions in the previous chapters. The smart grid is open and it is associated with electrical meters, many of the electrical meters, and or we can call them as a smart meters also. So this infrastructure helps to simplify a complex process, because measuring is one of the complex process. It sells the vision of the smart grid in short. So AMI system captures the data as well as it will provide information to the utilities and transparency to the customers. What happens with a regular meter? In regular meter, only the meter reader will read the data and he will give the bills. But in case of AMI systems, he captures the data. AMI system will capture the data and at the meter level, and it will provide the information to the utilities as well as the customers. Same information will go, so we can maintain the transparency by adopting the AMI system. One simple illustration I wanted to highlight here. The days of electric company representative swinging by to read your meter could be phased out with the AMI. See, what happens is, if the based on when the person will read the meter, based on that the tariff rates may change or they may vary. Let us discuss about the demand response. Already we know what we mean by demand response in the previous video lecture. So in this I am trying to highlight some of the aspects which are related to the research point of view, related to the demand response, that we'll see. To achieve the economic and environmental goals, the consumers need to become equal participants in the process, tuning their energy consumption when clean sources are available and avoiding peak energy consumption times as much they can. The first point it explains is, by using the available information, we can motivate the consumers to use the energy or to consume the energy whenever the clean energy like solar power is available, so that we can use the maximum load whenever the solar power is available, and whenever minimum whenever in a night time we can use the general power which is coming from non-renewable energy resources. So by using this, the peak energy consumption time we can change, we can utilize the renewable energy very efficiently. If some electricity consuming devices can be deferred to non-peak time, everyone wins. This sentence say that if maximum consumers, if they tries to use the the time of use concept, if they use, then 100% we can consume the energy whenever it is generated maximum. So we can supply the power to the needy people where we are not able to give right now. So what happens is, the major concern is we need to motivate the people, telling that you turn on the light whenever you are in a home. Automatically light control system. If the person is not there in the home or in the room for a particular time, automatically light must turn off, so that we can save the energy. And some loads we cannot use it during the daytime or some other time, because some of the loads we need at a particular time. We cannot avoid that condition. So for example, we cannot motivate the people to use the dishwater at 3 a.m. So that is not at all possible. So whenever we want to use it based on the demand, we have to lower the consumption also. And as far as research point of view is considered, we can ask the consumers to do the right thing, whatever comes in his mind, especially as far as the cost is concerned, because we cannot motivate the people regarding the research, regarding the operation, regarding the maintenance. Only if you motivate the consumer based on the cost conditions, then only we can attract the people regarding the smart usage. The smart thermostats, for example, we can prompt the consumers to lower their air conditioners by degree, 1 degree or 2 degree. That also matters a lot. So already in case of solar power, we are using thermostat. So automatically when you are charging the water by using the electricity, by using the power, so that at that time when water reaches certain level, it reaches certain temperature, automatically it will cut off the power supply, it won't charge. So that is also very important. It is doing very important role. So 1 or 2 degree or 1 or 2 units if you save, that is also more than enough. In home displays, similar devices can lower energy by 6%. The demand response programs yield immediate reduction on the average. Let us discuss on the critical peak pricing, CPP. We call it as a CPP. In case of the demand response, the critical peak pricing means that utilities have the technology infrastructure in place to charge consumers more for energy during the peak periods. So what happens is, it allows customers to decide whether or not to pay more on the specific critical days rather than paying average cost. So if we motivate the people regarding the critical peak pricing, whenever if you are using the maximum power during the essential times or during the night time, so if we enhance the cost of that particular unit, then automatically you can go for this particular concept. It also helps in balancing the cost as well as the risk between the consumer and the utility. So it will provide the further incentive for consumers to reduce the energy consumption also. Let me discuss just now what I talk about the time of use pricing. This is most important in case of critical peak pricing. What happens here is, hour based pricing you need to give in a particular day, and that time of use pricing allows utility rates and charges to the customers based on the use. Not only the time of day, but also season wise also you can price. You can, because in festival season many people use the maximum energy, so that the power supply companies will face a maximum problem. Everybody will use that time a maximum power. But what happens here is, the person who is supplying that particular power, he will face the problem. And especially in case of the local weather patterns, there also, if the particular city or village is completely given the supply by the solar, during the rainy season, it is very much problem to supply the particular demand. At that condition, the consumer's role, the customer role is playing a very important role, very important considerations. Let us study some test beds and benchmark systems. In case of the development of computational tools, especially for the power system applications, which requires extensive testing and validation for maximum efficiency, the speed, accuracy, reliability and robustness are very important aspects, especially for the power system. See, what happens is, before proposing any of the concept into the network, you need to test it very properly, and that test bed which is having certain considerations. So we need to have some computational tools to test that particular technology. So we will require data for that, and users must be tested. The final product, whatever we are going to launch for the user, that is tested, and uniqueness of that test system must be studied. in normal condition, in adverse condition, and we need to alert the consumers. Emergency situations may arise, and you need to think about the restoration conditions also with particular standards. So before testing any of the network condition, the standards and interoperability and cyber security issues must be taken into consideration. We hope to continue the development of some MATLAB based environments for generalizing the dynamic stochastic optimal power factor utilizations, the variants of ADP decision analysis tools, some other tools also used for solving the power system issues. The main concern is some of the IITs and some of the improved institutes, they are trying to develop the test bed environment where the computational tools or new technologies, whatever we are trying to propose, that we are going to test it very properly by doing the present situation power system also. The results, whatever we are getting, those must be discussed very efficiently in the text or in the book entitled The Adaptive Essential Optimization Power Techniques, which will provide the development of platform for smart grids and other complex system networks. So overall, what I can conclude from this particular video lecture is the major concern or approach what we are going for the smart grid application is, first point is you need to motivate the customers regarding the time of use concept. Okay, time of use concept, and you need to motivate or you need to give certain ideas about the critical times, critical peak pricing. So if the customers are involved in the operation of the smart grid, 100% you can increase the efficiency of or throughput of or reliability of the power system if the customer is involved 100% in each and every activity of the smart grid. That is only possible once we involve some kind of communication infrastructure in our current grid technology. If we are able to deliver each and every information to the customer regarding the generation, transmission, distribution, then 100% this task can be completed very efficiently. So this is what I am trying to give in a particular in this particular video lecture. So in the next video lecture, we'll talk about some of the challenges and benefits what we have in front of us, especially in case of the smart grid technology. Thank you.